The Samsung S26 series is almost here, and the drip feed of additional facts continues to emerge. For years now, Samsung has given a black option for its Ultra flagship, including the S25 Ultra, which is currently available in titanium black, among other titanium-branded color schemes. However, the business has never really launched a wholly black Ultra flagship, as the device's frame still employs silver. But that could change with the S26 Ultra early next year. According to one of the most reliable sources of Samsung leaks, Ice Universe/Phone Art, the black edition of the Galaxy S26 Ultra will include a black frame in place of the typical silver. As a result of this all-black color combination, the leaker claims the phone's side bezels will appear thicker than they actually are. It's still unknown whether Samsung will match the frame and body paint on other S26 Ultra hues or offer the black frame across the board. If it's the latter, the bezels can end up looking thicker regardless of the device's hue. Should this alarm prospective purchasers of the S26 Ultra? Probably unlikely, given that Samsung is also rumored to provide thinner bezels on the Galaxy S26 Ultra, and any sense of bigger bezels would be an optical illusion. But we can see how someone who doesn't like thick bezels on their phone might think hard about getting the S26 Ultra over this design change. In any case, we recommend accepting this information with a grain of salt until more evidence arises, despite the source's positive track record of accurately disclosing Samsung-related news in the past. There have been various rumors referring to the S26 Ultra's possible color variations, with one even indicating the release of a brilliant orange colorway, not dissimilar to the Apple iPhone 17 Pro series, Cosmic Orange Edition. As with previous years, Apple's color pick for its freshly unveiled flagship has grabbed the world by storm, for some reason. So it's not altogether surprising that Samsung and a few other Android smartphone makers may follow similar in 2026 and beyond. Meanwhile, leaks concerning the Galaxy S26 Ultra's hardware continue to flow, with the flagship believed to feature an unchanged peak brightness of 2600 nits for its display, but it will eventually make the step to an M14 OLED panel. We've also learned this month that the flagship may get a much-deserved bump to wireless charging speeds from 15 watt to 25 watt, while an update to wired charging speeds is also anticipated. Fans may be in for some disappointment if they're expecting camera enhancements, although some leakers don't agree on the depth of the alterations. The Samsung S26 Ultra gets the upgrade I've been begging for, and it still manages to disappoint. After so many generations of waiting, the Samsung S26 Ultra is witnessing an update to the battery, in the most disappointing way possible. For generations, Samsung has shackled the Galaxy flagships to being stuck to a particular constraint. At first, it was very fine, but it began to overstay its welcome as the years went by, and the company's newer phones refused to upgrade. Be it regulatory limits or anything else, Samsung was losing behind. Flagship phones from Chinese competitors overtook it, little at first, then exponentially. Samsung has been beaten in one of the most critical components of a modern smartphone. I am, of course, preferring about the battery. So imagine my excitement and then subsequent sigh of regret when I found out that Samsung was finally improving the battery on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. But only just enough to still stay ahead of Apple. Yes, it's reportedly finally occurring. According to a fairly new report, the Galaxy S26 Ultra's battery might be experiencing the tiniest of updates next year. After years of Ultra phones with a 5000 mAh battery, we're purportedly about to see an Ultra phone with, wait for it, a 5200 mAh battery instead. Yep, that's it. This is the improvement we have waited generations for. To be fair, there are some additional upgrades too. Okay, the 5200 mAh battery doesn't sound like much, and it isn't. But it's not the only change for the S26 Ultra in this department. The phone will also have 60 watt wired fast charging, up from 45 watt, and 25 watt wireless charging, up from 15 watt. So if nothing else, you'll be able to start using your phone sooner after running out of energy. But don't these upgrades sound a little too minor? With Chinese phone manufacturers pushing battery capacities exceeding 10,000 milliamps utilizing silicon carbon technology, what's the use of an extra 200 milliamps? Compared to the 100 watt or 120 watt of a OnePlus or Xiaomi, it's ludicrous. But for a Galaxy user accustomed to waiting over an hour for a full charge, reducing it down to under an hour will be a major advantage. The leaker also cites wireless charging upgraded to 25 watt, compared to the existing 15 watt. Again, this is a much needed enhancement. 3. The QI2, the magnetic advantage. This can be the detail that influences your daily life the most. The S26 Ultra should, finally, fully utilize the QI2 standard. In short, magnets on the back of the phone, just like Apple's MagSafe. No more fumbling to align your phone with the wireless charger in the dock. No more automobile mounts that involve attaching an unattractive metal plate onto your case. The ecosystem of magnetic accessories, which is objectively great, is now natively available to Ultra users. Now, let's put everything into perspective. While these features are fantastic news for followers of the brand, they remain small compared to the rest of the market. Look at what's happening elsewhere. By the end of 2025, Chinese smartphones are standardizing on 6,000 to 7,000 milliamps batteries thanks to silicon carbon technology. The OnePlus 13 or an Honor Magic 7 Pro already offer considerably more than what Samsung promises for 2026. And we now know about the OnePlus 15, with a 7,300 milliamps capacity and 120 watt charging speed. Samsung is playing it safe. You can feel the specter of the Galaxy Note 7 still lurking over the corridors of its headquarters in Suwon. The goal is clear. Take no risks, enhance what already exists, and rely on the superior software optimization of One UI to compensate for the raw milliamps disadvantage. There's only one point, really: bragging rights. Apple has caught up to Samsung, at least with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, RAM, storage, processor speeds, and yes, the battery capacity. Just as how the iPhone Air inspired the Galaxy S25 Edge, reports of the folding iPhone pushed Samsung to develop the wonderful Galaxy Z Fold 7. And now this, only Apple makes Samsung innovate. Samsung defeats Apple. Just to me, it appears like Samsung will be doing the bare minimum to be able to still boast that its phones are superior than Apple's. We've waited so many years to see the batteries in Galaxy phones cross the 5,000 mAh threshold. This just isn't it. My predictions regarding future updates. So if Samsung is only doing what Apple is doing, then should make it easy to forecast what it will do in the near future, right? Perhaps. I'm not suggesting that Samsung does nothing new. It still creates outstanding Android phones after all. But here are some predictions for future Galaxy phones. The iPhone 18 is supposedly receiving a camera with a variable aperture. Therefore, I bet that the Galaxy phone after that, the Galaxy S27, will get one too. Galaxy S26 Ultra is already getting a larger aperture, hence the restored rear camera island. But the iPhone 18 is taking it a step further. Samsung won't want to be left behind. Meanwhile, the 20th anniversary iPhone Pro would reportedly include a display free of any cuts at all. The Face ID sensors and the front camera will be placed under the display, therefore I expect Samsung to do the same. Possibly the same year, months before the iPhone 18 does. The foldable iPhone, on the other hand, is supposedly going to include a significantly larger battery than the Galaxy Z Fold 7. Hence, I think that it's safe to state that the Z Fold 8 will have a battery equal or larger than the battery in the foldable iPhone. If the iPhone Air makes a reappearance, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if the Galaxy Edge variants came back too. I'm not mad about the innovation. In fact, I'm so thrilled that we're now seeing these phone companies focus on batteries instead of simply cameras and thickness. But the 200 milliamps jump is, in speaking, very disappointing. Ice Universe also says the S26 series will employ the same 10 megapixels ISOCELL 3x camera. Samsung's S26 series won't feature an interesting camera upgrades, by most accounts. The latest word comes from renowned source Ice Universe, and claims all three Galaxy S26 phones will feature a 10 megapixels ISOCELL sensor for their 3x needs. To be more specific, it's the 10 megapixels 1/3.94-inch ISOCELL with a 1.0mm pixel pitch and a 36 degrees f/2.4 lens. That exactly describes the 67mm f/2.4 camera inside the Galaxy S25 and S25 Plus, and is a relatively average imager. You don't get conveniences like pixel binning and enhanced digital zoom performance. This depicts a relatively mild advance over the S25 series, which themselves were a bit of a snooze fest on the camera side. The Ultra model got a higher res but not larger 50 megapixels sensor for the ultra-wide, while the Vanilla and Plus variants had unmodified camera systems. In short, compared to the S25 Ultra, signs show that the future S26 Ultra will have a different 3x telephoto shooter than the Sony IMX754. There's also a potential that the S26 Ultra will solely employ the 12 megapixels Sony IMX874 camera everywhere. Alternatively, similar to the S25 Ultra, the 2026 Ultra model might employ either the IMX874 depending on the market. This is yet unclear. So in terms of camera hardware, the S26 Ultra won't be all that different from its predecessor. However, Samsung will most probably improve the camera experience with software. One of the ways it will achieve this is by activating APV video. This mode, which offers 3D stereoscopic video recording, could play a role in the Galaxy XR headset experience. Samsung may introduce the S26 Ultra a bit later than normal, with February 25 indicated in a recent report. The next Unpacked event should take place in San Francisco. The series may alternatively include of the normal base model and the S26 Plus. The fate of the S26 Edge is unclear. So, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more tech news. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.